Hi everyone, here's a simple trick you can do with Geogebra. If you have students that are starting to get into linear relations and just the idea of a slope-intercept form of an equation, um, Geogebra will help you to build that concept. So let's start off by defining our terms. So if we're building something with a y equals mx plus b type of a description, we'll need an m and a b to begin with. So I'm just going to say that m is 1. So we're going to define an equation with a slope of 1 just by typing m equals 1. And I'm also going to type b equals 0 so that we have the y-intercept being 0. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my basic form of my quadratic equation. So I'm just going to say y is equal to m times, so that's a star, shift 8, x plus b, and press enter, and I'll get a nice straight line. You'll see up here where it says dependent objects, y is equal to x, which if m is 1 and b is 0, that is exactly what that is. The line appears on the screen, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, which is consistent with the equation. But now I'd like to get an idea of what happens when I change the slope or when I change the intercept. So just to the left of the variables, you'll see that the b has a little circle, so I'm going to click on that. And the m has a circle, so I'm going to click on that. And when I do, two sliders appear. And I can move those sliders to change the values of the slope and the intercept. So if I just grab this point now, I can move back and forth, and I can see what a negative slope looks like, what a large slope looks like compared to a small slope, and get a real sense of what the word slope actually means. I can also do the same thing with the intercept. If I grab this point, I can drag this up or drag this down. You can see that my line moves with it. If I'd like to take a look at the equation I've created, so let's say I did a y is equal to 0.5x plus 2.2, you'll see this is now what's shown over on the dependent object side. If I want to look at some specific values now, I can do that by just adding a point to the line. So I'm just going to grab my point tool, pick anywhere on the line, and you'll see the line lights up as I move my cursor closer to it, which means I'm going to snap to it. I'm going to click on that. A is now trapped on that line, and I can switch back to my move tool, and I can move back and forth to see, for example, that my y-intercept is roughly 2.2, that at y is equal to 2, or sorry, at x equals 2, that the value is 3.2, and so on and so forth. The same trick, of course, will work with any function. So let's say I wanted to define a quadratic, so I could use the typical vertex intercept form. So I could say I'm going to define a as being 1, and I'm using y is equal to h, or sorry, a times x minus h plus k. So h I'll make 0, k I'll make 0. And likewise, I'll just define my function, and I'll use function notation. You can use either. So I'll use function notation, so f of x is equal to a times x minus h to the power of 2 plus k, and press enter, and you'll see I have a parabola up here. And I can just go ahead and click on my three parameters, and I can move my sliders back and forth to see how changing those sliders affects my function.